These aren't ideal recording conditions, but for something that I'm not releasing to the public, it'll do. It'll do. There's a rumble behind me. That is concrete getting pumped into our backyard to make the cement patio that goes underneath the deck. Yes, it's a rumble, but we'll live with it. I've kind of zoomed myself in a little bit closer. I'm a little bit closer to the camera, so hopefully, just for my own purposes, this won't be too annoying to listen back to at whatever point I choose to look back at it. So yes, Mrch Gls. Mrch Gls. Let's do a Mrch Gls video. It is March the 8th. Hey, I'm only into the second week, and I'm actually making my Mrch Gls video. I guess that's what it is. So yeah, let's get into it. Number 1 for my Mrch Gls is, as always, time with Ja. That is getting out for lunches, stuff like that on the weekend. You know, getting out for lunches on the weekend, down to the water, getting out. I would we'll see, to encourage Ja to come for walks with the dogs and I, even if she only just does a little single walk, and so I get to see her for half the walk, but something where she's getting a bit of exercise and such like that. But that would be another lovely expansion, and then hopefully as her capacity got more, we could go for walks on the weekend to parks or something like that, which is like getting out in nature is always just a lovely thing. I have a feeling I'm also crooked here. I should have really checked that out before I blotted myself out of the viewfinder. Number 2 is walking the dogs daily, which that seems to be going well, and I will continue with that. I like walking them around the block, or walking them a little bit further. Them getting their little doggy exercise is important for them and for me. Number 3, early to bed, as early as I can to bed and early as I can to rise. I'm going to try and get myself up in the mornings at 8:30. I have an alarm set for 8:30 and sort of get up just to give myself that little extra bit of time. A little extra bit of time can add up to me getting another one of my little tasks for the day done. This sort of hopefully will kind of tail into my number 4, which is a light or no evening snack. I've been having quite heavy deluxe evening snacks, and I think from a health viewpoint of eating heavily eating heavily at that time of the night is probably not great. You know, have a lot of food, then go to sleep. Is not great. So experiment with try to go a week without a snack at all, maybe just a drink, and see how that goes. See how that goes for getting to bed getting to sleep quicker, and the rest. Yes, there's a couple of other things for early to sleep, which is making sure I put make my list in my journal halfway through the day of like what I've gotten done, because after the halfway point it's sort of like work. Maybe you listen to an audiobook, but that's about all that gets added to it, because work is, you know, it's an 8-hour shift of work, so that kind of takes out that good hunk of the day, and then it's time for the sweet bliss of unconsciousness of sleep. Number 5 is phone hygiene. That is leaving the phone in my office, leaving my wireless earphones in the office as well, and just using the time to read. And I do definitely find if I'm reading in bed, I'm much more sensitive to, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to shut my book and I'm going to go to sleep, therefore accomplishing number 3, getting to early to bed to sleep. So yes, there's that. Number 6 is continuing with work on time, especially at the moment. Alarm goes off at 1:50, and get myself ready, get the dogs out for their walk, get back here, get everything sorted, and be out of the house at 2:30 to get to work on time. That's definitely a good thing to keep in mind. I have to keep this in mind for myself. I can dawdle. If I need to keep myself on a schedule for that, so I'm being respectful to the coworkers I'm relieving from work, and just, you know, starting off my work day well at 3 o'clock. Number 7 is continue doing my osteo exercises each day. I think it's something that bears reminding myself. It's such an important part of my overall body health, my back not aching, being able to work. You know, if my back goes out, I cannot work. So it's very important. So that's why I always keep it on the list, even though I've been quite good at keeping at it. Number 8 is publishing 5 reviews or just videos in general a month, in the month of March. I think that is something I should be able to do. Actually, if you count some of the things I've already published, I mean, the Code Breaker I should almost count as a February one because it was already, I just kind of forgot about it. But yeah, five reviews or 5 videos a month published on my public channel. Obviously on this channel I do like 5 videos a day, if not more. Number 9 is doing my daily journal keeping, which I'm enjoying doing and is just a good little check-in with myself, and a part of it being listing what I've gotten done in a day, which gives me a little bit more mindfulness of, oh, what are you actually getting done? What more could you get done? Or, you know, what's getting in the way of getting stuff done? No ums, no ahs. Number 10 is daily tasks, which is, I think I'm going to try go back to keep notes for this month of just keeping a running tally of things I wanted to get done today. One of the things I wanted to get done today is to do my Mrch Gls video. But try and do that. Really, go to the washroom. If you happen to be in the washroom, having a seat, sit down and go through the daily task things, add things, remind yourself of what needs to get done. Do all that. Use your time wisely in the washroom. Number 11, continue to work consistently on my no ums, no ahs project, vocal improvements, speech improvement. Which is a part of which is doing my exercises each day, is reading the poetry out loud each day. That is definitely, it's a good vocal exercise. It's a good way of trying to improve my enunciation, my speech patterns. That's also going to continue mean whenever I do make videos like this, to try and listen back to them, see, okay, what am I doing? How am I improving? What are things I can still improve on? What are other weaknesses I can identify in how I'm coming across, and work on that. Another part of this is to try and get one video a week of somebody talking about speech improvements, and do a little study on that, make a report here on that, just to keep it in mind and as a study aid for myself of, here are other things I could incorporate into speech practice, speech workout. Number 12 is to finish the short story that I started in February. Make that one of my little daily things of, take a look at something, work on it for 15 minutes a day. Probably if I worked on it for 15 minutes a day, I can finish the short story within a week, so that just a very easy low bar goal, because it's a very, very short story, I believe. Number 13, I've got continuing the idea of working on my meta goals. I think my meta goals are my writing and my video presentation skills, my speaking skills, but also video presentation overall. That I think is my general goals there. I probably should do a more specific video on meta goals again. Perhaps, actually, okay, that is my goal for March, is that on the 20th of March, Sunday, meta goals video. So I will have a specific day in March where I will stand here and talk, and at the very least think about what my meta goals are, how I want to develop them, and probably come up with little sub tasks, sub goals underneath that. And I think some of them I'm already working towards. I think if I have a thing of write for 15 minutes a day, if I do my vocal exercises each day, if I continue with my no ums no ahs videos weekly, those are all parts of this particular meta goal for this year. All right, that in this very rumbly atmosphere is my March goals. My next goal is to actually write this all down in my journal, in the back of my journal here. That's what I will go and I'll sit down and do that right now, and then maybe I'll get a little then I will get 15 minutes of writing in. All right, more videos later.